Hello, my name is Beth Lord, and my company is Right Heart Memories. I'm from Seattle, Washington. The project is the ultimate workbook for preserving your legacy and you. And I'm asking you, the Sharks, for $50,000 for 10% equity in my company. And it was developed and designed by me as an occupational therapist working with a man who had severe head injuries, helping him to remember his stories so he could laugh, smile, feel, and be in his heart. I'm also an autobiographical writer, and I've helped people tell their stories in many different ways. I've done this to over 50 people and have listened to them, transcribed, edited, formatted, and handcrafted their book so that it looks like this. Personal, and the stories are preserved. Imagine, if you will, reading the story about your grandmother who was a nurse during World War II, or how your grandparents met, the birth of your mother, or those family stories that get told every year at family events. And guess what? Those stories get easily forgotten. This workbook is about passing down these stories to the next generation. This workbook is a focused activity and process oriented for integration and communication that is natural storytelling to get at the heart of the stories that your folks want to tell and the ones you are wanting to remember. So, the ultimate workbook is about generating lists of stories. And from those stories, people can keep all of those stories written in the workbook and do nothing else, or they can choose 20 stories to be put into a personalized storybook. So the way we get to that is through finding a quiet space and see what stories bubble up for people. Don't focus on telling the story yet, just a phrase that helps them remember that story, or sensory reminders like, what does vanilla bring up for you? Or what does the first day of spring feel like for you? What's your inspiration and why? What people were your key motivators? Categories you can remember that ask who, what, where, when, the feeling, the takeaway, and the why in the story, like adventures you've had, and championships, and do-it-yourself things, and funny and humorous things. We also have 20 stories that your family want to know about. Places to find your stories: photo albums, videos, slides, old movies, scrapbooking, diaries and journals, stuff you can't let go of, heirlooms, emails, photos on your phone, text messages, social media, favorite music. We have trusting your stories on Maslow's hierarchy of needs: physiological, safety, love, belonging, esteem, self-actualization. And then we have emotions and heartfelt words: anger, anticipation, joy, trust, fear, surprise, sadness, disgust. What stories bring up for you? And then we have family heirlooms, genealogies, stories passed down that you remember. And then the themes that are going to be ultimate workbooks, like your birth story. Celebrate your special milestones through the eyes of a child, your business story, etc. It goes on and on. At least 25 themes. I used my retirement money, which was over $500,000, refinanced my home twice, and utilized credit so I could have the freedom to explore this process. This was absolutely necessary for me to really be able to understand how I capture people's stories in an authentic way, because that's the only way we have the depth that reaches that person's heart and our hearts. And a story worth telling comes from the heart. That's why I own 100% of the shares. I had talked to other investors, but it wasn't at that point of scalability. I had to be willing to take on this massive project so that this could be functional. There are personal historians writing people's stories all over the country, about 200 of them. But they charge minimum $1,500, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 on up, and take anywhere from a year to 3 years, 4 years. I didn't want that. I wanted this available for everyone. I want this to be able to be consumed by people in a healthy way. So my passion is getting out these stories into books, because that's how we learn from each other. There's never going to be another you, another shark. And telling you in your voice is important. I've made $10,000 to $15,000 almost every year, but the time it's taken me to handcraft a book, 50 to 70 hours, makes it a wash or below a wash. And I certainly couldn't present that to you for scalability or for profit making. So this proof right here is being revised and printed right now. So it will be ready to sell by April 1st. So I should start getting some hard concrete numbers between April and June. This is how I see this future. It has taken me 8 years to understand this process of personal storytelling. And I was willing to go bust over it to find the pain points and the touch points. I've done that. I've done that with this workbook, because the workbook, if this is all you do, it's going to give you stories. Everything else will make it a fine book for future generations if you go that route, right? Here's Finding Otis. That's the book that started it all. So the future, I need your help. I need the Sharks' help to get this really, really working in retirement homes and senior citizen agencies. And then from there, we can get it online. And then we can develop the other workbooks. I see myself training people to do what I'm doing. Very easy, very cost efficient. And I see this spreading in bookstores, gift stores, where you have it, online. I am so excited that I spent the time, because now I'm offering it to you, my sharks, for scalability. Thank you so much. And it has been fun swimming to the sharks, and I hope I get a chance to swim with you. Thank you. This is Beth Lord from Seattle, Washington, Right Heart Memories, preserving your legacy and you in books, and ultimately the ultimate workbooks for preserving legacy and you. Thank you.